Sir, I want to begin by asking you that in a situation where neither of the factions, and that's the first question that comes to anybody's mind, neither of the faction seem to have the two-third majority, which is in this case 36. How do you think, sir, is the ECI going to decide?
The entire process which we are going through is predictable. This is exactly what has been happening before and is happening now. For number one, clarification that the Election Commission does not enter into this fray suo motu. One party has to approach it. And obviously it is always the party which has broken away and which is what has happened. Then Election Commission writes to the other party to give it a response and then looks at the relative cases. And the only criteria on which it decides these cases under Election Symbols Order of 1968, paragraph 15, that's very crucial because it determines the procedure. That it looks at the majority of the faction. Number one, it doesn't decide which is a bigger faction, a smaller faction. It decides which is the party. The majority faction becomes the party. And it looks at the number of MPs, MLAs and MLCs on the one hand, and also the organizational structure. What is the split, what is the distribution of members of various office bearers. So these two levels they examine and then they decide whichever they think has the majority be declared as the party and everything is handed over to them.
Okay, so Mr. Quraishi, you are saying the majority of the numbers, whichever side they are. So currently we have a situation wherein both the factions are claiming that they are the original party, the symbol should go to them, they should be called the original NCP. So according to what you are explaining, sir, should it then be going to the Ajit Pawar faction given the fact that they have more number of elected representatives? Is that what you're saying?
Well, till Election Commission comes to a conclusion, which faction is the party, the symbol is frozen, the name of the party is frozen, and they are both given, suppose there is an election around the corner, in which case the party has to be given a name, party has to be given a symbol. So both the factions are given a temporary names for both of them with temporary symbols till the decision is finally taken. And once the final decision is taken in favor of any of the two groups, that becomes the party and the symbol is returned to them, the name is returned to them.
Okay, so till such time the symbol can be frozen, all right. But sir, here is a situation wherein, the numbers, when we are talking about the two-third majority, it's 36 out of 53. That is the number of MLAs that the NCP has in the Maharashtra legislature. Neither of the side has 36 at this moment. Is it any significant in a situation like this two-third majority, is that going to be the decider, or you think it's insignificant at this moment?
No, for the case before the Election Commission, it is not relevant. They will go by the majority, which could be a simple majority. Now, but 36 or two-thirds majority in the context of a merger of a party. So, according to the anti-defection law, and as amended in, I think, 2003 or 4, the position is that the original party with two-thirds majority can merge with another party. A breakaway faction cannot. Breakaway faction is actually a defector. But that defection is not decided by the Election Commission. That goes to the Speaker. And you will remember that even the original Shinde case, while Election Commission decided in favor of Shinde, but whether those original 16 members were defectors, that is yet to be decided by the Speaker. And Supreme Court had asked the Speaker to give an order in a time-bound thing and that fixed time frame. I think it is the 8th of next month, and a speaker has to decide about the defection. But meanwhile, Election Commission, on the basis of the simple majority which was proved by Shinde faction, they declared it the party.
So, Mr. Quraishi, it's very interesting, sir, when you say that, the original party with two-third majority. Here is a situation where the founder, the original founder, is a faction with which is definitely not close to two-third, and the breakaway faction is also not close to two-third and doesn't have the original founder. So here is a situation that's a little sticky.
Yes, indeed. Because that is something which is complicated. Because although many people feel, and I've been watching the debate also, that if one faction, Ajit Pawar faction, has two-thirds, actually the language of the law there is that it has to be two-thirds of the original party which has to merge. Now, original party is obviously the mother party, which is Mr. Pawar. So let us see how it goes, because not only the speaker will be giving judgment, but the speaker's order finally will be justiciable. Then it may, and I'm sure it will go to the Supreme Court.
That was my final question with you, Mr. Quraishi. The speaker has already been approached by both the factions now. So you think the ECI will have to wait for the speaker's decision, because speaker is expected to decide legitimately which one is the original, who gets the recognition as an NCP is something that the speaker is expected to decide. Will the ECI wait till then?
Well, actually, that's a very good question, because it is extremely crucial whether defection law applies and those people are declared as defectors. But in the Shinde case, Supreme Court said initially Supreme Court asked the Election Commission to stay till the speaker takes a decision. Later on, they had asked the Election Commission to go ahead and decide their part of the case. And the Election Commission went ahead and decided the case. If we go by that example, the precedent which had just happened 6 months ago, the Election Commission doesn't have to wait. But common sense says that if it is going to have a final impact on the party's position, and there is no great urgency for Election Commission to decide it, because at the time when Shinde case was before the Supreme Court, elections were happening in Maharashtra. Local body elections were happening. But now there is no election around the corner. And if Election Commission takes a couple of months, 3 months, and wait for that, it will probably make good sense.
All right. So finally, before I let you go, one quick question. There is a lot of confusion and it is a complicated situation right now. We know that both the sides are taking legal opinion, but in a situation like this, does the anti-defection law also get invoked against a faction that has broken away?
Yeah, exactly. In fact, the two-thirds majority and only merger, because earlier the original anti-defection law, if 1/3 of the party broke, it was considered a legitimate breakaway group. Later on, that clause was abolished, and it says 2/3 have to merge the faction, and the split the word was avoided. 2/3 of the original party can merge with another party. Now, as far as I know, that is the law which exists today, and which is what will be before the speaker, because whether 2/3 of the original are merging or the 2/3 of the breakaway, in any case, the decision, whatever interpretation they take, so the speaker has to decide quickly. The first Shinde case, and then same model will apply to this case.